Welcome back to comics, to Hot Comics TV. All right, let's talk about Gantz Volume 2. So, previously we talked about the first issue, and now I just want to go over the second one. So I got that, but I think that it would be worthwhile to do it on the omnibus. I know that these are more available now. Whether these ones have been discontinued, I'm not too sure. I don't think Dark Horse is printing this anymore. So this is a little bit tougher. And I think I ended up stopping back in the day when these ones were coming out in volume something. I can't even remember. It might have been volume 10. I didn't go through the whole run because work and all sorts of other things. Anyway, doesn't matter. So we're going to be doing it on the omnibus run. I've liked this run. I would be very interested what you guys think if this should be be done on a larger format than these taco bonds, like Berserk. That would be the thing to have with these publications, because even though that there are books at this scale, they're a little bit funny still at this dimension. And from what I was saying from the very first episode of the first manga that we were taking a look at, the first book, is that I think that this artwork deserves a better treatment. I mean, we got a lot of good detail on it, and you can sort of see that it's kind of lost at this scale. We know that it's a composite sort of set of comic books, as is a team effort of what Oku did, because Hiroya Oku has a team, and he would do these very rough pencil layouts, and then have his team to start elaborating on the stage. He would have a 3D artist. The artist would come in, and he sort of would be start making elements and the perspective of the floor, all that sort of good stuff. Like this, he would have given like a note, and then from there everybody else would come in and sort of work on it. I think he even got an artist that does the bodies, and he would probably be focusing more on just the facial expression and all that sort of stuff. Obviously the dialogue. So like American comics, mangakas also have their own teams, and it's a you know that this is a very stressful medium that these artists work on, as they have to live in a deadline sort of scenario, and they have to really pump out these issues. But anyway, enough of that. Let's just get to volume 2. Let's see where we are with this, what the second part is. I'm gonna quickly brush. Okay, so this is No Survivors. Okay, so everything's going haywire and horribly bad in the first episode. So you're gonna see a lot of horrible violence in this, which is cool. So I don't know if this is where we left off, because they turned the other alien into spaghetti, literally, and then a bigger alien comes out, and he just he doesn't like what's happened to the smaller alien, to the onion alien. So Corona. Okay. So the Yakuza's facing now the bigger alien. It's almost like Freddy Krueger, right? You know, like what he ended up coming up with, and that's the cool thing. Here we go. So that's what we were talking about earlier. The process, which I did go over on the first video. If you haven't seen it, just go take a look, please. Will make more sense of what I'm talking about in the story. So this is the process. A very rough layout. Then somebody comes in on 3D models, and then somebody else comes in and starts like sort of making the pencils. Everything very clean, very pristine. Then the background gets implemented with the other elements like weapons and whatnot. cell phones and all sorts of other items always get sort of constructed in that way, and then it gets what do you call it, shaded or colored. I would like to see these in color. It would be amazing to see him. These are his earlier editions, the works that he did, 2 volumes. A lot of this stuff I think got canceled, and he was embracing these 3D graphics very early on. This was pretty successful for him, Han. And you can sort of see that Kato and Kei Kishimoto, they're like these are very stylized characters that he uses ongoingly with every other series. So here we are, Gantz 2. Gantz. So he's just splitting people apart. I love this so much. I'm going to go through the entire volume, by the way. I'll go through the entire omnibus because I highly recommend this. If you haven't really read this manga and it's hard to access somehow, this is the way to go instead of going with the other ones. These smaller volumes, they're just too hard to track, too expensive. If you had the capital, by all means, you know. But I highly recommend this series. It's got a lot of it's got a lot of what do you call it, events happening, and it's true science fiction, and it's got everything that you can hope for. I mean, it's got every taboo topic that you can think of. I'm not going to mention that, but you understand what I'm talking about. It's got violence, it's got horrible what do you call it, scenes that happen, and you know, it's a borderline of horror as well. So here, if somebody is like sort of imagining this was all an advertisement and everybody's like it's not happening. It's the professor, I mean the teacher, the school teacher, you've been ripped apart. This is still following the anime, which is very faithful to it, to a certain degree, I guess. But then it gets to a point where they're gonna go in their split sort of narratives, and that's where the anime kind of falls flat, I guess. And I remember going at the end of it, and I got a lot of my friends, and some of my friends got upset because they went, "Wait, hold on, this is not going to end right now." And I go, "Now you're going to have to read the manga." So they read some of it; they didn't really stick to it, and we were like, "Oh, it's still going." At one or another point, because this took forever to finish, by the way. Kei Kishimoto. So I'm gonna make a recap. So Kei Corona is a school student. She's a school student, and also Kato-chan. Kato is this guy, and Kato, out of the three, because these are right now the main three protagonists of the story, Kato is very solid on his morals. He's got very high morals, whether Kei is a little bit more for himself than anything else. But then you see that Kei Corona comes into his own, like the character does grow, and you will appreciate that. So yeah, I'm gonna adjust the camera. I don't like how this is. Yeah, maybe around that. Yeah, apologies about that. Anyway, so yeah, so and then there's Kishimoto, and Kishimoto is the most tragic out of the three because she is in, like, not well, mentally. She's just she's being put under a lot of stress because of her mother. Her mother is the only character that is more prominent in the anime, and she ends up doing something that she should have not done, and ends up appearing in the room where the Gantz with the big black sphere is. So they're all literally have tragically died one in another circumstance. Kei and Kato were trying to rescue a homeless person, and they appear there as this sort of like copy of a copy, and it works like a Xerox machine sort of thing, and or a 3D printer, whatever you want to think of it. The technology is so advanced, and the same thing happens to Kei. Kei ends up committing suicide, so it's not a very pleasant sort of thing that's happening to her. And now they're going into this journey of these really wacky alien hunts. So that's where we are right now. We're in the middle of the hunt, and in the previous episode, you can sort of see that it was like horrible set of events happened to like all of these characters that were hunting a smaller version of this guy, and now they're kind of like running for their life as we speak. They're wearing right now the Gantz outfits, which is always like a defense mechanism, it's like a defense sort of thing, and they give it kind of grants you like some sort of really strong shielding, but they do have a spiring sort of element that if they go under a lot of duress, the suit would literally secrete some sort of solution out of these holes, and then that means that the outfit will be gone. Normal people cannot see them when they're in the hunt in this sort of area of a map where they get transported to, and people are just gonna freaking out. They go like, "This is weird. This is an invincible man. Like there's someone there, but they're not there." So normal people cannot see, and they're like cloaked. It's Kato and Corona reminiscing of their school days, like primary school, because they're primary school friends. They were split apart because they went to different schools. One had better grades, the other one had not good grades, and one is like going to this horrible school, high school, where there's like these thug-looking schoolmates, and and they look like criminals, right? And they look really old, and they look really dangerous. Not that his school, like Corona school as well, is not filled with those type of characters, but you'll see what I'm talking about. Horrible events happening there. It's almost something out of Johnny Ryan. It's like almost like Johnny Ryan came in and assisted on the story with this. We gotta have more men trying to assault other men, you know. So, this is great. I see that's the suits giving him more speeds, giving him like extra stamina and like what do you call it, strength and everything else that goes with this suit. You can sort of see they get all veiny. It's really weird how the technology works. They never elaborate on that, so that's fine. See, now Karan is remembering how raucous it was when he was younger. This is an iconic jump scene in the anime. So this is almost one-to-one to the anime. So this, if you have watched the anime, you're like almost there, one-to-one. It's beautifully done. This is the other thing. This is the reason why I'm been talking about this, is because it's a very digital process, heavy processed, obviously, comic book, but it's well crafted. I mean, there's nothing here that I look at and I go, that's disappointing. No, if anything, I can't give enough praise to this series or how it was constructed. Like the art alone, it's amazing. They make it work so well. It's so well directed, the whole thing. It's just praises to Oku and his team. Yeah, this guy's nasty. It's like Freddy Krueger or Wolverine, just chopping people's limbs from left to right. Yeah. Okay, gets all angry. Good stuff. This is good stuff. This is what manga should be all about. Violence and aliens. Oh my god. And Nishi's another protagonist character, main leading character of the story. He knows a lot more than what he leads to show, especially on these things. So it's very clean the way that he set up the panels. You don't get lost on the narrative. The action is the thing that I had to praise to this manga, because you just do not get lost on the action. Very clean, very methodical. It's great. Also, the faces are very expressive. It's really well rendered. Praise to Oku and his team again. Yeah, so that's one of the components of what happens on these hunts is that they get teleported, these aliens, after they get captured. They get a percentage of point each. So it works as a game, almost like a video game sort of thing. And they transport these monsters to another realm or whatever they're coming from. Nishi obviously doesn't elaborate too much, and then you see what do you call it? That at the end of the hunt, they all are supposed to go back to the room. So here, Kato, I think, just makes it just by the miracle that he just gets teleported to the room straight away. Butter dog. Oh my god, this dog. I love Butter dog. Kato just makes it. He doesn't bleed out to death. He just makes it. So he gets nothing. So Gantz gives these smart ass comments like, dog, too little effort, too much sticking out the tongue, too much wagging tail. Everybody got 0 points except Nishi. Nishi's gonna try to get a bigger weapon. I'm gonna spoil it a little bit. Yeah, these are all the people that have fallen, and these are the last dudes of the hunt. The politician didn't even make it into that list. Wow. So at this stage, they're demanding for more answers. What does he know? And then Nishi's kind of like playing around with him, but Nishi won't budge. Nishi's Nishi. Nishi does what Nishi wants to do. This is awesome. Look at that. Even though that that I keep on saying that I would like to see a bigger dimensions of this publication, this is really good to have because there's such an large amount of material that it's good to have it in one volume so far for 3 volumes. So yeah, poor Kay, she comes to a realization that she's not dead. They actually revive her after she tried to commit suicide, and she's just a copy, and so she's roaming around now, homeless, literally. Corona is a teenager through and through. He cannot stop thinking about girls. But he comes to terms after. You'll see, he grows up. That's one of the things about this series is that characters do tend to grow. Oh my god, this guy's so horrible. The flags on this school. So one of Corona's friends gets bullied by this fella here, this douchey looking kid. And this kid goes, I'm sorry, you're tagged, you're it, so he goes, I'm gonna get the money out of you. And they're asking for a ridiculous amount of money or something. It's like, the thousands and thousands of cash and I don't know, yen or dollars. I don't know what the currency they're communicating on this game, on this story. I think it's, I guess, yen, but still it's in the thousands and thousands of dollars. And I mean hundreds of thousands of yen, whatever it might be, and they're just pumping kids for money, right? This suck. I mean, this guy looks like a demon, right? And then the karate guy comes in. It's like the president of the karate class or whatever it is. This dude looks like a character from King of Fighters or something. And he goes like, oh yeah, just whoever that's not a thug, just get out. And he ends up falling by this guy. Oh my god, he has a collection of teeth. It's just hilarious. The whole thing's just mental. Look at him. He looks like a demon. Then Corona just goes like, no, I'm not going to pay you, sort of thing. But he's got his suit at this stage, so he can get away with it, and everybody kind of freaks out. Like, in the anime, it's the animated cartoon. In the cartoon, it's a lot more. This is a bit more dramatic, but in this one, he just kind of like crushes his wrist or something. So, oh, he doesn't even do that. He just scares him. And to Corona's surprise, Kei Kishimura is at his doorstep of his apartment. So they kind of play housemates. I mean, yeah, housemates at one or another point. Sharing their home. Sharing Corona's home. Oh my god, I have seen a kid so promiscuous in Corona. See these guys that go to school with these other kids. I mean, oh my god. They're always wanting to pants each other. I just don't understand what's happening with the dichotomy in this. Oh my god, Kato comes always to rescue him. He looks at it, he's like the alien. Oh yeah, they all want to jump Kato. The Brazilian exchange student turns to be gay as well, so they give him a warning, and Kato doesn't take it too well, so he takes it to his own hands, goes to the toilet, beats the crap out of the Brazilian guy. Oi! And yeah. And this is where it's Corona's crashed emotionally, because she's telling him that she's in love with Kato. Oh, that's so cool. Japanese gang member bike. So this is where the gang, the motorcycle gang guys come into play. They get killed and then they appear in there. Now these guys are quite violent. Oh yeah, this dude, I can't remember his name. He's like a model or something. He works for Levi's or something. Or Calvin Klein. Yeah, so this is gonna be the next thing that's gonna come up. More drama ensues, obviously, and then you see Kishimoto with Butter Dog. Oh my god. So yeah, the grandma with the kid. Oh god. Yeah, Butter Dogs likes Kishimoto. Oh, that's right. Corona forgets his uniform at home, so even Butter Dog has the uniform on, except K. This is so much. This manga is so much fun. Yeah, like, Nishi doesn't take it too lightly. Kills one of the motorcycle gang members. And this guy's, I think this is a pop culture character in Japan. I'm not too sure. I think he's a singer from 70s or 80s. I'm not too sure. I think I remember reading about this back when I was reading this manga originally. And yeah, so Oku keeps on bringing characters from all sorts of mediums, right? So it's got a lot of pop culture embedded into the story. And I think that's why they modeled this robot after. So anyway, that's it. That's volume 1 of Gantz by Dark Horse. This is the Omnibus edition, covering episode 1 and 2 and 3 in one go. So we're gonna be moving away from these smaller books to these chunkier books. All right. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, and this is the Gantz episode number 2. Till next time, thank you. Bye-bye.